Okay. In this video, we will be doing market demand schedule. We are already done with individual demand schedule. Now, what individual demand schedule showed us? It showed us that what do you mean by schedule? First of all, it's a tabular representation showing you the different prices of a commodity and what are the differences in the quantity demanded of consumers. Individual, because we have separately studied the two consumers, and for simplicity we have only taken in our example that let there be two consumers only. Now we will do the market demand schedule. Now the producers who are selling the product, they have to sell to lot of consumers. So to them, a single consumer's demand doesn't matter. They take into account the total demand created by all the consumers together. So that is known as market demand. So what is market demand? The totality of demand created by all the consumers. Because a producer who will supply, he will supply in order to meet the demand of entire market and not a single consumer. So he needs the full information. So for simplicity, in our type of market, we have considered that there are two consumers only for the product X. So if I want to know market demand for this X commodity, for the product X, how will we find the price of the product? Because at different prices there will be different rates of demand. And quantity demanded, how will I get the market quantity demanded? No longer it is individual. Market comprises of sum total of all the individuals. So here, because we have taken only two consumers, as if the two consumers together forms the market. So we have to add up what consumer 1 and consumer 2 demands at the particular prices. So when the price is 10 rupees, consumer 1 demands 10 units and consumer 2 demands 8 units. So a producer, what they will see, that when the price is 10, the total market demand is 18. What happens when price changes or increases to 20? The first consumer's demand falls to 5, second consumer falls to 4. So 5 plus 4 gives you 9. So the market demand also falls to 9. And when the price turns to 30, the consumer 1 demands 2 units, again a further fall with the rise in price. Consumer 2 demands 1. So the total demand is 3 units, showing a fall when the price in the market is 30 rupees. So how will you get an idea? If you see the market demand schedule, this is known as market demand schedule. Why? Because it is also a tabular representation. Any kind of representation in table form is known as schedule in economics. So price and quantity demand with the respective prices given to you, and these are the market prices. What is the quantity demand at different prices? 18, 9, 3. So these are the different quantities demanded at the market prices. And this is not individual demand, this is market demand, and for simplicity we have taken only two consumers together constitutes the market. So their demand only gives you market demand. Now if you see the pattern of the market, then what you can see that as the price increases 10, 20, 30, the quantity demand falls 18 to 9, 9 to 3. So we can say that the market also exhibits, and it also proves that the law of demand holds, because when the price when the price increases, we have shown in the example, quantity demand falls. So this also exhibits the law, shows the law, and proves that law of demand holds. Now our next study over here will be from tabular representation. Schedule means tabular representation. Now we will use the tabular representation to get into graphical representation. So when you plot x and y like that, a diagram, and when you plot the points, you get a diagram that is known as graphical representation. Again I am telling you, so till here we have done the individual and the market demand schedule. Schedule is a tabular representation. You have to have full information in the tables, then only you can construct a proper graph. And now we will depict the entire information graphically. So that is known as graphical representation. Now how we will do that? Now just see, I am drawing over here in the side only. So this, how this tabular representation, this is known as individual demand schedule. Now how this individual demand schedule will help me to plot a graph. Now take the two axes. Now in the two axes, over here in the horizontal, we plot the dependent variable, and in the vertical axis we plot the independent variable. So independent was price, so in the vertical axis always price will come, and the dependent variable is in the horizontal axis, so quantity demanded will come over here. Now we take a proper scale. Suppose the price is given 10, 20, 30. Suppose this is 10, 20, 30. And quantity demand is, when the price is 10, quantity demand is 10. So let us take 2 units. We have to draw proper scale. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 I have drawn. So when the price is 10, quantity demand is 10. So price is 10, quantity demand is 10. So if you plot, you get this point. When the price is 20, the quantity demand is 5. So 5 will be in between 4 and 6 over here. So 20 and 5. Again another point. And when the price is 30, the quantity demand is 2. So you are plotting the points. And when you join these 3 points, the locus means the joining line. When you join these 3 points, it shows you the demand curve of this individual consumer. So demand curve for this individual consumer, how will you get? So demand curve is basically a graphical representation, a graph showing you the relation between, on one hand you have on one axis price and on the other hand quantity. So it is no longer a tabular representation, it becomes now a graphical representation, and the plotting of the points is very necessary, taking proper scale is necessary. The drawing means you need to know what should be present in the both axis, price where, quantity where, and plot it, you get the graphical representation. This is the individual demand curve of consumer 1. And how we got these values, what will be the quantity demand, what will be the price, different prices that help to generate all these points. We got different prices and the combination of the quantity demand. But from where we got that? We got that from the tabular representation, the various prices and what is the respective quantity demand. So that only helped, and we utilized that in drawing the individual demand curve. So the graphical representation of the law of demand, it also proves the law. When the price is highest, less quantity demanded. At any points over here, price is less from the vertical axis. Horizontally, if you see, the quantity demand is more. So demand curve is the graphical representation. How you get that? From the demand schedule, and that is also proving the law of demand. Similarly, for this individual consumer I have drawn, you can draw for consumer 2 by plotting the price and quantity. You will get individual demand curve for consumer 2. Now, market demand schedule we have drawn from where? By adding up the quantity demanded of both the customers or consumers, we get the market demand, because here in the market I have assumed that there are only 2 consumers for a product. Now, if you plot these prices and the quantities in the graph, you will get the prices in the vertical axis, quantity demand over here, and if you plot the different quantity demanded, you will get a market demand curve, which is also proving the law. And what does it show? A downward sloping curve, which shows the negative relation between price and quantity demanded. Negative relation means when something increases, the other variable goes down or decreases, and when price decreases, the other variable goes up. So here your market demand schedule, from market demand schedule, how can you draw market demand curve is done. So market demand curve is a graphical representation, and how you get the points from the tabular representation, that is market demand schedule. Go through this portion from your book.